Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a video on how to begin a BookTube or a BookTok channel and page basically. So I want to talk about how I started as well and how you guys can start too, and give some advice on what I think you could do. By no means am I saying that I know everything. I do not. I am still learning as I'm going, but I think it's good to give some advice to everyone as well, because I've seen many accounts and friends that aren't as confident with talking on camera, and it's stuff that they've spoken to me about, and I would like to give advice to others as well on this. I want to talk about how I started. So I began because my friend Lucy recommended the ACOTAR series to me. So after I read this, it was my first introduction to fantasy genre, and also I hadn't read in years. So it was really nice for me. It was then when I started to search up BookTok on TikTok, and I started seeing some accounts and things, and I was like, this is something that I think I would enjoy doing. Now, I have actually got a degree in musical theatre and acting for film, so I am used to sort of being on camera. So when I first started BookTok, I started out doing a carousel post with pictures of myself and just explaining who I was as a person, and kind of saying hi to everyone, and saying this is me, this is who I am, and this is what I want to do. So that's how I sort of introduced myself. And then I started making funny videos as well on BookTok. It was when Cam had suggested that I start talking on camera. I was a bit nervous about this to start with. I mean, I have done acting for film, but talking on camera can be quite daunting. It's something that I think you get used to over time. Still, I mess up on camera, but the great thing is that you can re-record, you can mess up as many times as you want, and you can perfect it. And you know, it's just the natural flow of things. It's something you will get used to and become more confident in. And I definitely think, looking at myself now to when I first started in June, I have grown so much more confident in myself, and you can definitely see it in my videos when I'm talking. So that is something I would suggest, is that talking videos are more personable, and I feel like they connect you more to your audience or your friends online. So I definitely would recommend that's something you try out. It might not be something you do straight away. A lot of people aren't very confident on camera or don't want to be on camera. That's completely fine. If you don't want to be on camera, you can do voiceovers, you can try out different ways. There's so many options that you can do. And I definitely recommend that. It's something that you just do over time, and you just naturally become more confident. It's something you will definitely work on, and it's great. It is fun once you start doing it. So fast forward to now, and when I started my BookTube channel. So it's something that I really wanted to do for a while. I'd seen some of my BookTok friends had channels themselves, and it wasn't until I'd started watching them a bit more and I was like, why am I not doing this? I originally was going to plan to start it at the kind of in the new year, and I was chatting to Cam about it, and we were discussing it, and I was just like, why am I not doing it? Why have I not started it? Like, I just don't know why I haven't done it yet. And it was just from that I was like, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna make videos. I'm just gonna do it. Like Cam has said to me, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to film it and upload it and have fun. Like, it's not all about having the perfect video. It's because you're doing it because you enjoy it. That's the whole kind of aspect of it. From then I started my BookTube, and I've had great fun. Like, I've got a video that I posted on one of my shorts on YouTube, and it's now hit around 55k views, and I think it was like 5k likes or something, which is crazy to me. And, you know, I've posted that same video on my TikTok, my BookTok account, and it's got just over 1,000 views. So it's not, you've also got to take into account that you're not gonna go viral overnight, or, you know, it's something that is gonna grow over time with consistency, like followers as well. Don't just look at your, just don't think about followers and how many people are following you, how many views you have. That's not what it's about. What it's about is having fun, doing something you're passionate about and you enjoy, and kind of just talking to others as well. It's about making friends and talking to other people about the books that you enjoy and just different things. It's definitely not one about followers and how many people are liking your stuff. It's not something you should be looking at, in my eyes. It's not something, like, it is great when something goes a bit viral or something gets pushed out. That's absolutely amazing, but to me it's not all about that. It's about having a great time, creating a community, and just getting on with it and just posting and being you. That's what it's about. So now that I have explained how I started and my journey on how I created my BookTube and my BookTok accounts, I'm going to talk about the kind of equipment that I use and kind of give you some inspiration of what you could possibly use as well if you start. So I'm going to begin with talking about my phone. So my phone I have is the iPhone 14 Plus. I use that to record all my videos. So when I'm recording my YouTube videos, I record landscape and I use the cinematic mode on the camera because it just gives a crisper sort of visual on the camera, and I just can look at myself and talk to myself when I'm filming. And then when I film for my TikTok, I obviously use portrait. I sometimes film on the TikTok app itself, or I will film on my phone as well. And then I use the CapCut app to edit all my videos alongside my YouTube videos as well. I use CapCut for all of it and do that to edit them down and add text and everything. So this is my setup that I have. I've got my bookshelf and my chair. I also have this ring light here that is huge. Cam bought it for me the other day because my other ring light broke. I also have a ring light which is new, and Cam bought it for me. It came secondhand. It's called Newer. I will pop the text of how it's spelt. And he bought that secondhand off Marketplace as a local hairdresser was selling it, and it's one of these kind of professional ring lights that do cost, I think, over £100 normally, but he bought it secondhand, so it's slightly cheaper. Ring lights are great. I really recommend them. They provide great lighting. They're also useful because I can attach my phone to it, so when I'm filming it's so easy. Like, you're currently on my ring light right now, so it works perfectly and you can move them about. This ring light, however, is quite big, so if you wanted to have one that you could travel with, I would suggest buying a smaller version. I would always suggest looking on Amazon because they have reviews on there, so it's always great to look at reviews and see what other people think. Sometimes people post pictures and videos as well, and it's just great to have a little look at different prices. I also use a tripod, which I originally actually bought because I wanted to use it for transition videos for like my TikToks, and it's really handy actually. I do use it for other videos as well, for like when I'm standing or when I'm not always around my ring light. It is handy to use. I also use it sometimes in my workplace for when I'm doing social media for that. So I definitely would recommend a tripod as well. Again, I bought that off of Amazon. I just looked at different ones and just picked the one that I thought would be right for me by looking at reviews as well. So I also got this one. I'm going to show you what it looks like because you can adjust it so that you can have it, that you can move it along like this, and you can also do it so it's sat upright as well. It is brilliant because you can use it for like over the shoulder. You can also use it for like when you're standing up, obviously, when you're sitting down. I used it earlier for the start of this video as well, so it is quite handy to have it like that. Next, I want to talk about my bookshelf. This isn't actually a necessity that you have to have. I did actually have a smaller shelf beforehand, but this is something that I got over time as my book collection grew out of control. I also have bought some ornaments for it for Halloween. I also am planning to get some Christmas ones, and I do have the light behind here, which is a Halloween light, but after having a little look at it, I definitely think I'm going to get something that's more permanent, because it does provide a nice sort of atmosphere and ambience behind here for like the visuals. Like the bookshelves are great for visual backgrounds, but it's obviously not a necessity that you have to have straight away, and I will obviously rearrange it from time to time, but I am looking at getting another light that I could permanently have there. I am also thinking of maybe getting a Christmas light as well at some point too. So this was my original setting for my BookTok videos, and as you can see, that is the shelf that I used to use, and the shelf that I currently have is 2 times bigger. So that is the shelf that I used to use. This wasn't the original chair I used to use. I used to use the one that I was sat on in the video earlier, the grey one, and then we got this over time. I also have the ring light that I used to use, which broke. So it was this ring light here. It's a lot smaller. It's one that I could travel with because you can kind of take it apart. So I am looking at maybe getting another one. It was one that my mum gifted me actually. So I eventually need to get a new one of it because it was so handy and I could just take it everywhere with me. But the one that I currently have is a lot bigger, so I can't really drag that everywhere with me. I am looking at getting the mini mics that I always see people using. They would be good for audio. I've seen a couple on Amazon that I like the look of. I need to go through and look at the reviews again and eventually invest in one. So I'll get one of those as well, and this is kind of like the equipment I currently use, and it may change over time. Like I am looking at getting a proper camera as well for my videos because I currently use my iPhone, as I said, but it does take a lot of my storage up on my phone, so that is an issue that I am facing, but eventually it will all work out and I will get more equipment and different things, so it will eventually change over time, and I'm just happy with what I'm currently using. I just want to also give some advice on what I found in my experience as well, of things that I think would be good for you guys. So with BookTok, I found that if you've seen some ideas that you like, inspiration, as a way of not copying someone, it's always best to tag them and say you were inspired by them, or even message them as well directly and say, are you happy with me doing this, as long as I credit you. Again, I have done that. I have credited people on my BookTok that I'm friends with, who I've used like sort of transition videos for. I've always credited people where necessary. Most of the time I do try and think of my own content ideas. I have actually had people copy my videos before without crediting me, so I do understand as well how it kind of feels if you've thought of an idea and then someone copies it and doesn't credit you. It is hard sometimes because obviously social media is growing. It is something that's always changing, always growing. You will have people that do copy, unfortunately, but as long as you credit them, I definitely think that's the best way forward. So how to start a BookTok, I definitely would suggest, if you're not as confident, is to start by posting carousel pictures with text on, start doing videos as well, transition videos of books, start doing voiceovers as well. It doesn't have to just be pictures and transition videos, it can be voiceovers. You can do day in the lives, but without having yourself in it. If you're not as confident, that's absolutely fine. But what I suggest is putting yourself out there, being consistent. I post every day, once a day, on my BookTok account, so always posting, and then I post 2 times a week for main videos on my YouTube, and then every day that I'm not posting on my YouTube, I will post a YouTube short. So it's being consistent and putting yourself out there. You will eventually become more confident. Just honestly, just do it. Just have a go. Have fun. It's about having fun. It's about enjoying what you're doing. It's not about likes, it's not about followers, it's about just being you and trying things out. It's not always about following trends as well. Don't always follow trends. Try to think of things yourself. Try to be creative. You know, I've done videos before where I used to dress up and pretend to be my boyfriend. It's great. It's fun. They were funny videos. I enjoyed doing them. I don't do them as much now, but from time to time I will. It's just something that you will grow into. I used to do time-lapse videos a lot as well on my TikTok as well, but now I don't do them as much. You will kind of understand how you do it over time. It will eventually flow into some sort of pattern. So now I do a lot more reviews, I do a lot more talking videos, I will do transition videos. They're the sort of things that I now do on my TikTok, and I suggest that you guys have a little go, see what feels right for you. Again, if you copy people, credit them. All those sort of things I would advise myself from my experience of what I've seen as well. So that's the best way to start and to go forward, is definitely to do that. So that is all my advice that I would give to you all, and like how to start your journeys as well with your accounts. Again, this does also apply to like Instagram as well. Is just popping yourself out there, doing reviews, doing things that you enjoy, and just starting, and you will eventually become confident in it. It is something that will happen over time, so do not fret. I hope that my advice is useful for you all. It's something that I will look back on, and I'm going to do a future video on my progression of what I will do in the future as well. So see how far I've come, and hope I've not done any horrific advice for you all, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And yeah, it's just putting yourself out there, being confident, being yourself. Don't take into mind what other people think. If there's any negativity, don't listen to it. Just be you, be positive, make a community. That's the whole idea of this, and put yourself out there. So see you all later. Bye.